All right, so let's get into this. We're going to start with shooting a target and killing a target 25 meters plus. All right, so we got this target set at 35 meters. We have our name delete set at 5 meters. As you see, named. Okay, let's show some damage. Now that you see we got the armor, the bonus armor, let's kill this name delete. Before I show you, let me add this in there. The ACR is running strained. Gain 10% critical hit damage for every 0.5 seconds you are firing. Stacks up to 5 times. Okay, so we're going to get more damage on top of the regular damage we're going to get, the bonus damage rather, we're going to get from Symphony. And that's at longer range. You'll get 40% weapon damage to shotguns, SMGs, and pistols, and then 20% weapon damage to ARs and LMGs, and 25% bonus armor. Now the damage that we're going to get for shooting this name delete at close range is 20% weapon damage to ARs, and we're going to get the bonus armor because we're going to kill the target that's further than 25 meters first. So let's kill him. Alright, bonus armor. This is the damage. Okay, 5.8 was the last bullet. 5.8 million. And you see we had 2 icons, which was the intermittently. $6.4 because we killed the target within 25 meters, and that's with the AR. 6.5. We're getting these buffs. The highest was 6.7. So you see the damage just keeps going up. Okay, now we're gonna do the Ravenous. I'm gonna kill this target back here, and then with the Ravenous, you're gonna get no damage buff from shooting and killing an enemy further than 25 meters, but you will receive the buff for the marksman rifles and rifles, 40% weapon damage when you kill the target within 25 meters, and you get the 15%, my bad, the 30% headshot damage for 15 seconds. So let me show you that. So now that we killed our target, 6.4 million, this is our damage. Let's reset that. $7 mil. Take that, 7 mil. $8 mil again. When you hit those consistent shots, the thing jumps up to 8 million DPS simply from getting the buff from Symphony, and you're getting the buff for the 30% headshot for 15 seconds. Now we're gonna do intermittently real quick. Kill his target. $6.8, 7.2. So now we're building stacks for both. Okay, as you see below, we got full stacks. on the icon, and no stacks are being built, that's when you get intermittently. And they both are active once they hit 4 stacks, as you saw. But when they're both active like that, you're not building any stacks, and you just multiply the damage and the percentage by 2. So that's that. Now let's get into some gameplay. Starting with our specialist, we're going for the gunner for a couple reasons. One, the passive talent Incessant, which gives you killing an enemy grants 10% armor. Then we go for the coupler. Every third reload is 50% faster. Also, we got the other passive talent, hardened armor kits, which allows you to get armor kits, repair 100% armor, and grants 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. And finally, we got the barrage, which is rate of fire increases by 5% on kill for 5 seconds. Continuing with the rest of the build, we are running the Ravenous. Okay, for this build, have our expertise to level 20. We're doing a total damage of 347k base damage. Okay, rifle damage, crit hit damage, and damage to target out of cover. And Jerry and Frecky is the talent on this weapon. On trigger pull, fire both barrels at once. When fired from the right shoulder, hits add an offensive primer and defensive primer when fired from the left shoulder. Hits from one shoulder will detonate all of the opposite shoulders' primers when present. When detonated, each offensive primer deals 100% weapon damage, while each defensive primer grants plus 4% bonus armor and plus 10% amplified damage to armor plates for 5 seconds. Primer effectiveness is doubled at 10 stacks, so that's when you're maxed out. That's when you get all the buffs. The next weapon we're using is the ACR-E. You have a total damage of 141k base damage. Have this expertise to level 12. It's not god roll, but we have the major things, which is the assault rifle damage maxed out and the damage to target out of cover. And we are running strained. Gain 10% critical hit damage for every 0.5 seconds you are firing. Stacks up to 5 times. For this weapon, it's really good because this has a slower rate of fire. The RPMs are only 650, and that's perfect for strain, which gives you more crit hit damage over time rather than faster. Okay, the pistol we're using, the third our sidearm, is the Orbit, which we hit to sometimes, but we always have the Orbit as a placeholder pretty much. Okay, now get into the meat and potatoes of this build, which is the brand set Virtuoso, which is the new one that came out with the last update. Okay, as you can see, we're running it with the Ninja Bike backpack, and best of all, the Sacrifice. Now, this is the name chest piece Provenance. I did run the, let me see which backpack, which chest piece was that? It was the Door Kicker's Knock. I ran that first, and it wasn't hitting the way I wanted it to because I feel like we can get more damage out of this build. But then when I put on the Sacrifice, which, you know, has a glass cannon on it, perfect glass cannon, which is all damage you deal is amplified by 30%. All damage you take is amplified by 60%. When I put this on, notice the major difference in the damage output. Now, it's dangerous, but this is pretty much like a veteran build. Like, you have to be in cover, you have to know when to push, when to fall back. So, as you saw in some of the gameplay, yeah, there were close calls that I had, but still made it through because you had to play it a certain way. Let's look at the pieces. Okay, we're running the mask. We got 2-piece, gives you 15% weapon handling, 15% magazine size. 3 pieces give you 15% weapon damage, and 4 pieces gives you the full set, which is Symphony, the talent. Killing an enemy further than 25 meters will provide plus 40% weapon damage to shotguns, SMGs, and pistols. Okay, now I went through this build in the gun range I went through, but I'm gonna tell you the reason I use the rifle is because of the second part of this, which is killing an enemy within 25 meters will provide 40% weapon damage to marksman rifles and rifles, 20% weapon damage to ARs and LMGs, and 30% headshot damage for 15 seconds. The reason I chose that simply because we are always going to be within 25 meters of the enemy. It's really rare that you're going to be shooting further than 25 meters. Now, for me, that's my playstyle. I like to play close range to mid range rather than far range, further range. When I'm with the team, then I might put on the sniper build. But for the most part, running solo or even with the team, most of the time, I'm within 25 meters. So that's why we're using the Ravenous and the ACR. Okay, and then let's just look at what we got on here. We got weapon damage, crit hit damage with a crit hit chance mod. Then we have the Virtuoso holster. We're running weapon damage, crit hit damage. Then we're running Fox prayers to get that rifle damage, the 10% rifle damage, and then 30% accuracy. And we have armor. I have this expertise to level 12. with damage to target out of cover as the main attribute that comes with this knee pad, and then we got crit hit damage on it. For the gloves, we're running Virtuoso, and we got weapon damage that's not maxed out, but crit hit damage. And then of course, you know, the Ninja Bike backpack. I'll read the talent. Resourceful, slots in with any equipped gear set and/or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set bonus. Can unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. So that's why we ran 3-piece Virtuoso with Glass Cannon Providence and then the Foxbird knee pads. So everything works together. Now for our skills, we had put on the Reviver Hive just in case we went down, to give ourselves that extra boost to come back, finish the job. And then we are running the attack drone or assault drone because we need a little bit of distraction. Sometimes when it gets overwhelming with enemies, they can bombard you, and if they're like true sons, they like to surround you. Okay, they like to flank. So that's why we put out the drone, and then we have the Reviver Hive. Let's look at some stats. Okay, we got 347 total weapon damage, 347,000 total weapon damage, and then we have 35% crit hit chance with 151% crit hit damage. Okay, we got 93% headshot damage. Let's go down to the weapon. Okay, rifle damage, we got 40%, and then for assault rifle, we got 15% assault rifle damage. Okay, this is the build, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I wanted to display and give a thorough explanation of Virtuoso and use one of the most underrated weapons, because not too many people have it because of its locked behind the raid, and two, it's a really great rifle when you learn how to use it. You do have to use it a specific way. So this is how I ran Virtuoso, and I paired it up with the Ravenous. Hope you guys enjoy. Remember to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and your boy, we'll get back to it in the next video. T'Challa out.